Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Can't believe it, 2023 is almost over already, so it's time to start doing my best games of the year list. First I'll be doing a bunch of different categories, and then at the end I'll be doing my top 10 games of the year. Today I'm focusing on my top 5 card games that came out this year. Let's get started.
Number 5.
Number 5 is a card game called Aurum, A-U-R-U-M. This is a trick-taking game for 3 or 4 players. Now, this is probably one of my favorite 3-player trick-taking games. I call this trick-taking in the reverse. It looks really cool, but in this trick-taking game, I say it in reverse because everything in this game is sort of backwards. Makes you think very differently, but the mechanisms are simple. It's like, you know what, if you throw the lowest card, you get to lead the next trick, and you get to get sort of a trump card that you can use in the future. You're gonna be bidding with cards at the beginning of the round, but you're able to sort of change your bids in different ways. There's just a lot of things that are really clever about this game. It's 3 or 4 players. The 4-player is a team player. It would have been higher on this list, but again, if you're not into like team-based trick-taking games, this is basically a single-player count game for you. Now the team game does play well. It plays fine. I just prefer to play these card games as, you know, solo people. So for me, it's a 3-player card game. If you like team play, then the 4-player will work for you as well. But again, the way that this game makes you think completely different from every other trick-taking game, but yet it doesn't have a large overhead of rules. The ways that trumps work is so interesting in this game. The way that you can change your bid, the way that you can end the game or end the round earlier than people suspect, messing their bids up. And it's quite forgivable, where like if you don't make your bid but you got more in your bid, you still get points. Only if you don't even get to at least your bid, you don't get points. But if you make it perfectly, you get double points. But again, there's a lot of things in this game that are reversed than normal. Go check out my full review to see what I'm talking about. That's Aurum.
Number 4.
This next one is called Forest Shuffle. This is a beautiful, gorgeous, animal and nature themed tableau building game where you're going to be getting cards. And on your turn, you're either taking cards or playing cards. It's that simple. Now, when you take cards, you can either take them from a deck or you can take them from a display, because as players discard cards, they are going to be going to this tableau, and you're going to be able to, so you may put it there for temporary storage, hoping to get it back later, but other players might take it when you really want it, kind of like in Lost Cities. But you're building a forest, you're building different trees, then on those trees you're putting cards, you're sliding cards below it that are under the ground. You're sliding birds and flowers and stuff on top. You're sliding animals on both sides. All these different animals and flowers and mushrooms and all these things that you're putting in the trees, they all score differently. They score with set collection, they score with this and that. All the trees sometimes score with different things. It's a hodgepodge of point salad tableau building and a beautiful, nice package. That's Forest Shuffle.
Number 3.
Next one is called Scorecards. It's by designer Mike Fitzgerald, who I think is one of the best, if not the best, card game designer in the history of board gaming. Like, this guy's done, you know, Baseball Highlights 2045, all the Mystery Rummy series and things like that. Scorecards is very simple, but it has a lot of depth. You have a hand of cards, and you're going to play. You have a hand of cards, and you're going to play a card, and that card is going to score. Every card scores something, but you're trying to play the ones that score the most. But you're trying to set yourself up for higher cascading scorings, because you might have a card that says, hey, score a point for every odd yellow card out there. And it's not just you, it's all the cards of what all the players played. And maybe I have a hand of yellows, so maybe I play some other yellows earlier in the round so I can play this other card in my last card of the round and get a huge point score. It's a lot of like combo building, a lot of thinking of which order you're going to play the cards, what other players played will change maybe what you're going to play. It's really clever. You play multiple rounds, and the scoring is really clever too, because at the end of the round, you'll get the most points. Whoever has the most points total will get a point, a single point, and whoever had the single largest scoring card will get a single point. There's only 2 points given out every round. Sometimes you'll win both points, sometimes you split, and you play till you have a certain amount of rounds or a certain amount of points. It's very clever. If you like simple card games that have a lot of tactical things to think about, setting yourself up for later, timing is everything. So if you like easy breezy little family card games, check this one out. It is being reprinted by R&R Games, and I'm told that it's going to be in stock, I think, by the end of January of 2024. So it'll be in stock soon, so check it out.
Number 2.
This next one is called Goblin Vaults. This is from Thunderworks Games. It's in that same sort of role player lock-up universe. And this is a very interesting card game. It is kind of like a mix of trick-taking and tableau building, where you're playing cards and you're sort of trying to bid for cards so that you can take specific cards, put them in your tableau, and score in certain ways, and the ways you score change every game. You're going to have ways of putting things in runs, maybe having the highest of a certain suit here, maybe having go in ascending or descending values, and you're making this sort of tableau of cards, but where you place them is going to depend on how much you score depending on this specific game. Again, that changes every game. There's always different goal cards. So it's interesting because you're playing cards to a trick to try to bid for a certain card. Sometimes you want to win that card. Sometimes you purposely underbid or you purposely lose so that you can take the card that you played into your tableau. So it's an interesting sort of bidding mechanism that kind of is almost like trick-taking. It's hard to explain. Go watch my full review of this. I think I also did an official rule school of this game as well. If you like card games, if you like trick-taking games, if you like sort of bidding games, if you like tableau building, if you like multiple ways to score, if you like games that change how you score every time, this game is way more thinky than it looks. It's a small box game that takes about 45 minutes and really is crunchy. If you're looking for that small sort of card game footprint that expands to a bigger tableau, that has lots of thinking, more than you think it would from a light card game like this, check out Goblin Vaults.
Number 1.
My number one of the year is one because this game, I got it at Origins. It's called Splito, S-P-L-I-T-O, from 25th Century Games. I love this game because I've always liked the games like Between Two Cities, Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, where you're building something with the player to your right and the player to your left, and the combination of those two in some way, shape, or form is your final points. And this game uses that sort of aspect, but the way it's facilitated is just a simple family weight drafting game, where you got a hand of cards and you're drafting them, and they might just be numbers and colors, but there's also score cards in there. So you have to decide whether I'm taking a number and a color card, and then I'm deciding which partner am I putting this to. Am I adding it to the tableau and building with my player to my left or the player to my right? But sometimes you're getting score cards like have the most greens or don't have any odd values in this pile. And so it's interesting because you're building how you score each game as you draft the cards, but not just you, your partner is doing it too. And so you get to this certain group think. There's certain things that you can communicate and can't communicate with each other. There's somewhat limited communication there while you're drafting cards. You're trying to put a score card and then pass the cards to the player to your left that's going to basically be able to piggyback on the scorecard that you just gave them because you just set them up and you're hoping that they get that from you without you telling them, things like that. It's fantastic. Again, if you like those types of games where you're scoring semi-cooperatively with the players next to you and whoever has the most combined points wins, it's great. There's also some cards in the middle that could give you some majorities for extra points. And again, the reason why it's so cool, it plays high player counts. It actually plays all the way down to 3. There is a 2-player variant that actually also plays very well. That might actually be the most thinky game of all of them. So 2 to, I think, 8 players, plays high and low player counts great, easy to teach, lots of fun, lots of replayability. It's the reason why it's my number 1 card game of the year, Splito. Well, I hope this helped you find some games to maybe put on your Christmas list this year of my top 5 card games. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so and click to be notified because I have a lot of year-end videos coming out. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships to board games by helping you on the next one you love. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table into a high-quality gaming solution, but they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with over 20 styles of thematic game mats in 11 different sizes from notable board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and real cool accessories, experience what thousands of other gamers enjoy by upgrading every game you play with a Game Topper system. Save hundreds of dollars on Game Topper package deals that are in stock now for immediate shipping at GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below.